Hi guys, welcome to the CATWay. So in this video, we are going to solve our daily set. And before we begin, do not forget to like, share, and subscribe. Also, you can visit catway.in for more info on the CAT course. So what do we have today is that 10 objects A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, and J are to be placed in 4 boxes. Box 1 and box 2 have at least 3 objects each. Box 3 has at least 2 objects, and box 4 has at least 1 object. So that means 1 and 2 will have 3 each. That means 6 objects. 2 in box 3, that is 8, and box 4 has 1 object. So total for 9 objects, we know their locations, right? But for the 10th one, we need to identify it, right? So that brings us for 4 cases, because that one object can go in box 1, 2, 3, or 4. So any of the 4 boxes it can go. So that brings us to 4 cases, right? So let's talk about the 4 cases that we have. So let's say case 1, 2, 3, and 4. And here we have the boxes. Box 1, box 2, box 3, and box 4, right? So this is what we have. Now, guys, what do we have is that, okay. So let's say initially, let's give the extra object that is left to box 3, right? So box 1 will have 3, box 2, 3, box 3 need to have 2, and box 1 needs to have 4. But the extra one we have given to box 3. Now we will give the extra one to box 1, let's say. Okay, so it will have 4, 3, 2, and 1. Then the extra one to box 2, so we will have 4, 3, 4, 2, 1. And now the extra one to the box 4, that is 3, 3, 2, and 2. So this is what we have. Okay. Now what we know is some information is given to us that A and B are in the same box. Okay. C and F are in the same box, which is neither box 2 nor box 3. Okay. So C and F either they go into box 1 or they go into box 4, right? Then among C, D, H, and J, no 2 are in the same box. Now, because there are 4 boxes, 4 objects, and no 2 of them are in the same box, that means all 4 of them will go into different boxes. All 4 of them will go into different boxes. Okay. Then what you have is I is in box 3 and none of E, H, J is in box 3. All right. So this is what we know about these. Okay. So now let's move to the questions. The first question is that if A and E are not in the same box and number of objects in box 2 and 3 are equal. So number of objects in box 2 and 3 are equal only in case 1. So this is the case that we are talking about over here, right? So let's make it. So box 1, box 2, box 3, and box 4, right? So this is what we have, guys. Okay. Now what we know is that C and F are in the same box, which is neither box 2 nor box 3. That means they cannot go in box 2, box 3, and box 4 will have only one object. So C and F together, if they have to go, the only possibility is box 1. So C and F will occupy box 1, right? Similarly, I has been given to be in box 3. I has been given to be in box 3. Now, one more information has been given. Acha, that E, H, and J, none of them is in box 3. Now, between E, H, and J, we have H and J over here, right? We have H and J over here. So they cannot go in box 3, right? C cannot go in box 3. That means D is the one which has to go in box 3, because out of these 4, all have to go in one box each. Now, because H, J, and C cannot go in box 3, so the only possibility for box 3 is D. Now, since A and B have to go in the same box, A and B have to go into the same box, that means A and B have only one position to occupy, that is B2. Why? Because in B1 they cannot go, because it will have 4. B3 they cannot go, it will have 4. And B4 they cannot go, it will have 2, which is none of them is possible. So the only possibility for A and B is to occupy box number 2, right? Now C and D are accounted for. H and J, no information is known about H and J. So H and J can occupy box 2 and box 4 in any order, because CD is B1 and B2 have C and D. So H and J have only 2 possibilities, either in B2 or B4. So they will occupy any of them in any order, right? H and J. Then E is left. E will be going in box 1 because E cannot go in box 3. And then G is left. So there is only one place for G, that is box 3. So question 1, the case is formed. Let's move to the options. So, and the question is cannot be true. So H is in box 4. It is possible that it might be true. Second is E and F are in the same box. So E and F are in the same box. That is also true. J and B are in the same box. J and B, there is a possibility that they might be in the same box. That means option number D, G and D are not in the same box. We can definitely see that G and D are in the same box, whereas the statement says they are not in the same box. So the statement cannot be true. Hence the correct option is option number D, right? Then moving to the second question, what do we have? Let's see, what do we have? Okay, so it says of all the objects from two boxes, okay, all the objects from two boxes are collected and wrapped as a gift. Okay, so all the boxes are collected and wrapped as a gift. Okay, all the objects from any two of the boxes are collected and wrapped as a gift. The gift contains three objects, right? So now the gift has three objects from two boxes. So from two boxes to have three objects, the only possibility is in case 2 and case 3. That means box 3 and box 4 are termed as the gift wala box. Okay, so box 3 wala things are being gifted and box 4 thing is being gifted. Now when we are talking about this one, okay, what we know is that I will definitely go over here, right? I will definitely go over here. And since we have already seen that H, J and C cannot be in box 3, so the only possibility is D for coming into box 3, right? So two objects of box 3 are fulfilled, right? Now A and B have to go in either in box 1 or in box 2, okay, and they have to be in the same box. Okay, next thing what we know is that C and F are in the same box, that is neither box 2 nor box 3. They can also not go into box 4, so the only possibility for C and F is to go into box 1, right? The only possibility is for C and F to go into box 1, right? Now, acha, we'll also take the second case. Now, this is for case 2, let's say. This will be for case 3. For case 3, we still ID is confirmed in B, right? There's going to be no change, whereas C and F is confirmed in A, right? Now, between AB can go into box 2 or they can go into box 1. So, in one case, we will take them into box 1, that is case 2. And in the other case, they will be in box number 2. Other case, they will be in box number 2. Okay. Acha, one more information has been given that the box gift contain 3 objects and does not have H, right? Now, what you know is that C, D, H, and J had to go in different boxes. C is definitely going into box 1. D is definitely going into box 3. H cannot go into box 3 and H is not in the gift. That means H is not in box 2. That means H is definitely in the box 2. If H is definitely in the box 2, we have J in the box 4. That means J will be occupying the box number 4, right? Now we are still left to place a few things, right? Who are they? Okay, C and F is done. A, B, C, D has been done. E has not been done. So, okay, E is left. Okay, now E is left. What is possible about E? So E is not present in box number. E is not present in box number 3, right? And that is certain in this case. So E again has two possibilities, that is in box 1 or box 2, right? So one case we will take it to box 1 and in one case we will take it to box 2. Now in box 1, if it in one case we will take it to box number 2, so that case would be this one, because you cannot have E in the box 1 in this particular case because it already has 4 objects in box 1. So E will go over there, whereas in the next one we will take E over here, right? Now after this, only one thing is left to place, that is G. So G will occupy this position over here, whereas G will occupy this position over here. Sorry, this position over here. So all the boxes are filled. Now we can move towards the questions. Okay. So how many of the following statement must be true? So must be true means definitely. B and D are not in the same box. So in both the cases, B and D are different in different boxes. So statement 1 is definitely correct. One of the objects in the gift is D. That is also true. So 2 statements are definitely true. Third statement, box 1 has more objects than box 2. So it has more objects than box 2 in one case, but in the other case it has not. So it need not be definitely true. So how many of the following statements must be true? 2 statements must be definitely true. So the correct answer is option number C, 2. Now let's remove this. What do we have? Again, let's talk about the case. Let's read the question first. What do we have is that if the number of objects in box 3 and box 4 is equal. So box 3 and box 4 have equal number of objects only in this case. That is case number 4. Okay. Now what is are equal and E is in box 1. Okay, so E goes in box 1. That is fine. Okay. Now what you definitely know is that I and D are definitely going to occupy box 3. Okay. I and D are going to occupy box 3, right? Similarly, C and F, they can occupy, there is a possibility of them occupying box number 4. Okay, so there is a possibility of them occupying box number 4. Okay, so let's say C and F are in box number 4. Okay, let's say C and F are in box number 4. Okay, then what are we left with is that, okay, C is done, F is done, I is done, E is done. We are still left with 5 objects and we have to place them in B1 and B2, right? Now guys, what are the possibilities are that we need to fix AB, right? You need to fix AB. Now, if you take AB into box 1, okay, if you take AB into box 1, then the thing that will happen is that A, B, C, D, E, F are done. G, H will come together. Okay, G, H will come together. J will also come over here, right? J will also come over here. But you know that H and J cannot be in the same box. So you cannot take AB into box 1 when you have CF in box 2, right? So that means AB will occupy these positions. AB will occupy these positions. Okay, AB are going to occupy these positions. And then what are you left with is H and J. So H and J, H can come over here or H can come over in the box 1. So that means when CF is in box 4, we have 2 cases, that is AB, ID, CF, E, and H came over here. So H has a possibility of coming over here, right? Similarly, if H was here, then J will be here, and then in this case, J will be here. Similarly, G is left, so G will be going in these positions, right? So we have the cases set, right? But there can be more cases. Why? Because here we consider that C and F are going into box 4, right? Now what we will consider is that C and F are not going into box 4. Okay. So let us make the space, because this part we are done with. We are on the last question. We don't need this anymore. So we will make our case over here, right? So we have B1, B2, B3, and B4, right? I and D are going to come over here, right? I and D are going to come over here. Now what you have is, guys, that you have CF and AB. They are going to be there, right? Now CF, if they were not in box 2 or box 3, there was a possibility of them being in box 1 or box 4. Box 4 cases we have already done. So this time we will take them into box 1. Right? If they are in box 1, AB are definitely going to occupy box 2, right? AB are definitely going to occupy box 2, right? Now, guys, what is going to happen is that neither of H and J can come into box 1, okay? And they cannot be there in box 3, right? And H and J have to be in 2 different boxes, and the possible options are box 2 and box 4. So in one case, H will be over here, whereas in the other case, J will be over here. Rest everything remaining the same, right? C and F. Still, now when H is over here, J will be over here, and when J is over here, H will be over here, right? Then what are you left with is E and G, right? You are left with E and G. Okay. So now, guys, what is going to happen is E has been given to you in box 1, so E will occupy this position, and G in that case will occupy this position. So we have 4 cases for question number 3. Now the question is, then how many of the following must be true? So that means definitely C and E are in the same box. In this case, you can see C and E are in the different boxes. So hence statement 1 is not necessarily always true. Then you have A and E are not in the same box. So A and E are never in the same box. So that means statement 2 is definitely true. Third is A, H, N are in the same box. It's not always true that A and H are in the same box. So statement 3 is not definitely true. Statement 4 is exactly 1 out of C and G is in box 4. So here C is in box 4, here G is in box 4. That means statement number 4 is definitely true. So out of the 4 statements given, statement 2 and 4 are definitely true. Hence 2 statements must be definitely true. That is option number B. 2 is the right. So I hope now you have understood the set well, guys. And this was a pretty easy set. Hope you have understood the set well. Thanks for watching.